Hello, do you like New Japan Pro Wrestling? Are you a Shin Nihon freak? If so, check out the Super J-Cast with Joel and Damon on the Voices of Wrestling Podcast Network.
And even if you fucking hate New Japan Pro Wrestling, listen to the Super J-Cast anyway. Not just for our great show reviews, analysis, and pastrami sandwiches, but there's also usually some dick jokes somewhere in the obligatory opening 30 minutes of absolute nonsense we chat about every single week. That's the Super J-Cast for all the best talk about New Japan Pro Wrestling, crisps, and pornography.
Most people don't realize how much their personal information is being bought and sold every day. Data brokers are making billions, pulling details about you from public records and the internet, and then packaging and selling it, usually without your consent. That's how your information lands in the hands of scammers, spammers, even stalkers. It's why you get endless robocalls and why ads seem to follow you everywhere. That's where Aura comes in. Aura actively removes your data from broker sites and keeps it off. They also instantly alert you if your information shows up in a breach or on the dark web. But Aura goes beyond data protection. With one app, you get a VPN, antivirus, password manager, spam call protection, dark web monitoring, and even up to $5 million in identity theft insurance. All backed by 24/7 US-based fraud support. Other companies might sell just credit monitoring or just a VPN. Aura gives you all of it, together, at the same price competitors charge for just one service. Start your free trial today at aura.com/remove. Protect yourself now at aura.com/remove.
This podcast is a member of the Voices of Wrestling Podcasting Network. Visit voicesofwrestling.com to hear the rest of our great podcasts, as well as show reviews, columns, opinions, and updates across the world of wrestling.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Music of the Mat Remix on the Voices of Wrestling Podcast Network. I'm your host, Andrew Rich, joined today by a returning guest. He is a contributor at Voices of Wrestling. It's Brady Trappett. Hello again, Brady.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Glad you're back here. How's Utah treating you these days? I know it's supposed to be pretty hot out there, right?
Yeah. It's hot, and for a brief period, everything was burning down. But we are settling in, if you can call 100 degrees settling. But yeah, it's all right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've had a few scorchers here in Boston for sure. It's not fun. Not to mention there was that Canadian wildfire smoke a few weeks ago, which turned the sky orange. It was kind of like how in Breaking Bad, whenever there's a scene in Mexico, there's that orange tint to everything. It was kind of like that. And
Right.
I had never seen that before, but I imagine, given the way the world is going, it won't be the last time, Brady.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. When we had the wildfires around here, I did send my wife a picture and said it's like one of the Mexico scenes in Breaking Bad. So we're on the same page there.
Well, in any event, today's episode here is called Mega Powers. The Mega Powers, of course, the tag team of Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage. We actually just passed the 1-year anniversary of Hulk's death last week, so good timing there, I suppose. And the concept of the Mega Powers is pretty simple. It's a super team. It's these two big stars teaming up, and eventually you had the feud, and the Mega Powers explode, and all that fun stuff. But Hogan and Savage, that's a hell of a team right there, just in terms of sheer star power. It's hard to think of teams that would eclipse that. Like there's Inoki and Baba, they were a team before the split, and Tanahashi Okada when they first started teaming up in 2018. But, Mega Powers, that's like the go-to example for a lot of people of the super team. And they had a super handshake to boot, Brady.
Yes, they did. And I'm excited for this episode until one of us hot dogs and grandstands too much, and we have no choice but to blow up the team.
It's going to happen, unfortunately. That's just the way it goes with these teams. But that's the funny thing, Hogan and Savage, they would reunite in WCW later on and be in the NWO together. But that original run was only, 16 months or so? It wasn't that long in terms of tag teams. But when you've got a super team, the shorter the run, the more special it will be, because as cool as it feels when two big stars team up for the first time, when it's the 15th, 20th, 30th time or whatever, it doesn't feel special, you know? Like, I remember last year when Ospreay and Omega teamed up against Takeshita and Fletcher. That was really cool because it was the first time that Ospreay and Omega teamed up together like that. You know, it's their only, to this day, their only 2 versus 2 tag match in that case. But if they had stayed together as a regular team afterwards, then it wouldn't be as cool anymore. You know, it would just become commonplace, kind of like what happened to Tanahashi and Okada when they teamed up there. So it's just the way it goes, Brady.
Yeah, and that's something I ran into with looking through my selections for these. I think most of these, the most like music that they made together. I guess I have one that has 4 albums, but at that point it's like, it's not really the supergroup anymore. You guys started as a supergroup and now you're more famous for the group rather than what you were doing beforehand.
Mm-hmm. Well, you beat me to it here. I was about to introduce the music topic, but yeah, speaking of super, what is the Mega Powers equivalent in music? It's the supergroup. It's when singers and musicians from established bands come together to form a new band. And there are, plenty of examples of supergroups over the years. Some of them become the main band for these musicians after they leave their old bands or when the old bands split up. But a lot of them, like you said, just don't last very long. A lot of them are just these side projects with, 1 or 2 albums or no albums at all in some cases. Some of them are done for charity, some are done as tributes. But yeah, a lot of these supergroups are these short-lived things, which again helps keep them special. But that also means there just isn't much material to, come from them, Brady.
Yeah, I think that a lot of, my bad for spoiling your topic, by the way.
It's okay. It's okay.
A lot of the appeal to supergroups is when you first hear that they're formed, you hear, whoa, these people, like this singer from this band and this singer from this band are starting a side project. That's crazy. And hype comes up to the release. And then after that, they either go their separate ways and you can remember it for how special it was, or they keep going and maybe it loses a little bit of its charm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's also fun to see how, much like in wrestling, how there's the joke, what do these guys talk about backstage? That's true with some of these supergroups as well. There can be some real odd lineups and combinations with these bands. But for the most part, they do tend to make good music regardless, Brady. So,
absolutely. Yeah, there's one of your groups that is a what do these people talk about Hall of Fame case. So
well, let's get to the music here. We have 10 picks each and a playout song at the end. Brady, you are the guest. You'll go first. What's your first pick?
Yeah, I will go with the first supergroup that I wouldn't say I was able to hear in real time, but it's the first supergroup that I went back and I was like, holy cow, you can do this. I didn't know that you could have side projects like this. But it's comprised of Johnny Craig from Dance Gavin Dance, and I guess at the time Amorosa, Craig Owens of Chiodos, and Vic Fuentes of Pierce the Veil. And it's Isles and Glaciers with their song Empty Sighs and Wine.
When you told me to come over, I can tell it in the sound of your voice. I know I better be careful. She said I never wanna let you. She told me so. Now let me tell you how these steps go. Step 1, tell me what have I done. Step 2, you know you better believe. Step 3, you'll never be like me. So
Yeah, this is, I can't really convey how big of a lineup this is. I know that I'm probably stretching the term supergroup because it's all subjective on what music you listen to. But Chiodos and Dance Gavin Dance are pretty big. So Johnny Craig and Craig Owens being in this was massive at the time. And Pierce the Veil was just on the come up. So this is, I wish I had a wrestling comp that I could go with off the dome, but it's like an established tag team adding a youngster to their trio, and I think it gave us some great results. So side projects and supergroups are a big part of this just broad emo core genre. So I thought this was a great way to kind of introduce that concept and kick it off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I will fully admit I had never heard of the majority of your picks before this episode.
Let's go.
I was actually worried that there would be some crossover between our lists, but apparently not. So there you go. And yeah, here, we've got emo overload here. 3 lead singers on an angst-ridden song about trying to love a girl, but you don't know if it's going to work out. And the EP is called The Hearts of Lonely People. I mean, this is a proper emo palooza right here. And you know what? I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the nice melodies going on there. And again, I don't listen to Chiodos or The Receiving End of Sirens or whatever, but I like this, Brady.
Yeah, I think it's a very emo concept overall. Like when you listen to this music long enough, you kind of become desensitized to it. But the last line of the chorus is, "Oh, this is terrible." So it's a real mopey song. Yeah, I'm glad you liked it.
And Craig Owens, one of the singers there, he's going to show up later on with another band of yours, Brady.
He is. He is one of the like all-stars. Like I feel like every scene, every genre has people that like to get around with supergroups, and Craig is one of those people.
Right. Well, my first pick, this is a trio of rockin' dudes. It's Josh Homme of Queens of the Stone Age and Caius, Dave Grohl of Nirvana and Foo Fighters, and John Paul Jones of a little band called Led Zeppelin. This is them, Crooked Vultures, and this is from their self-titled album, their only album. This is Dead End Friends. Yeah, this is the opposite of the tag team adding the youngster. This is the tag team adding the grizzled old veteran because, Homme and Grohl are contemporaries. And they were in Queens together for a short time there. But yeah, really good album. Really good album. Obviously, it sounds a lot like Queens of the Stone Age because it's Homme singing and all that. But that's not really a bad thing. That means it's a damn good rock album. Plus, you got John Paul Jones as not just the bassist. He's also playing keyboards and piano, the mandolin, backup vocals, all these other instruments. So he has his own flavor to things. And Dave Grohl on drums. Can't go wrong with that. So, yeah, quite the power trio here, Brady.
Absolutely. Yeah, my main takeaway, I noticed this when listening to your things. There's a lot of DiCaprio pointing when you're listening to these bands. If you're multitasking when you listen to the playlist and you don't look at the Wikipedia beforehand. But my main takeaway was this just sounds like a Queens of the Stone Age song, and that's not a bad thing. My favorite Queens of the Stone Age stuff is with Dave Grohl on drums, so this was comforting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, great stuff. And like I said, one and done album. Ever since it came out, the big question is like, okay, when's the next one? And it turns out, guys like Homme and Grohl, they're pretty busy. They've got other things going on besides this. So we haven't gotten a second album yet, unfortunately. But they did reunite a couple of years ago for the Taylor Hawkins tribute shows, which was nice. And they played Dead End Friends on one of them. So at least you got that, Brady. So
nice.
All right, Brady, what's your next pick?
Yeah, my next pick is... I'll just intro it now. I mean, hardcore is, of the side project genres, it's one of the biggest. You have so many people who are just switching between bands, whether those bands are popular or not, doesn't matter. But everybody in hardcore has got several bands. This one is it's comprised of two bigger hardcore bands. One of them people might actually know now because they've broken out a little bit. But it's a mixture of Trapped Under Ice and Turnstile. It's a band called Angel Dust, and this is Toxic Boombox. Toxic Boombox! I like this song for a lot of reasons. One of them being I think you do a minute on these, but you got, I think, 3/4 of the song in on your minute preview, which is nice. I also like it because it's like gateway hardcore, right? It's a little heavier, only for parts of it. It lightens up to more of a skate punk kind of vibe. But from this, if you like it, you can go a little bit deeper, and then you're full on in a hardcore genre that has about 900 supergroups that you could listen to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my main takeaway is that this sounds like the theme song to some programming block at MTV where they only play punk videos. You know, Toxic Boombox with your host Scuzzy D or whatever. That's the first thing that came to mind. So yeah, you know, I know of Turnstile. I can't say I'm a fan of them, but I will say this though: they get right to the point on this song. 90 seconds, simple message. Makes me sick, this shit don't rock, Toxic Boombox. Can you give me back my time, Toxic Boombox? I guess, lamenting wasteful music or some such. And the album is called Rock the Fuck On Forever. And I do like that title, Brady. I do like that.
Yeah, it's a mission statement. It's a code. It's efficiency in word count. This is hardcore, baby.
Yeah. What's not hardcore is my next pick. This is a duo consisting of James Mercer from The Shins and Danger Mouse. Not the cartoon character. It's the musician and producer, the guy from Gnarls Barkley, that guy. This is Broken Bells, and this song is called Shelter. So that was a standalone single from 2018, and it's a beautiful song. I mean, I love the floaty atmosphere it conjures up. It's like you're jumping on clouds, and the soaring chorus there too. It's great stuff, and the song is about saying thank you to a loved one for their shelter, for being a comfort. It's really nice. And Danger Mouse, being a producer, he produces other stuff, which is pretty damn convenient, I'd say. So, yeah, Broken Bells, not the last super duo on my list, but they are the first, Brady.
Yeah, and this was a fun exercise in Wikipedia for me. I had, and I'll probably get dunked on for this. I had no idea Danger Mouse was in Gnarls Barkley, and this was after I put my list together. I was like, damn, there's one that I missed out on. But I'll second that. I really like this song. This is excellent summer drive music. This is windows down, hand out the window music. Love the chorus and the post-chorus guitar. I really like.
Mm-hmm. And it's funny, I don't listen to the Shins. Sorry, Zach Braff, I don't do it. And with Danger Mouse, I know a few Gnarls Barkley songs, the big ones, and I know some of the albums that he's produced for other people, but my main entryway for both guys is Broken Bells, and songs like Holding On for Life and After the Disco, which is just the way it goes with these supergroups sometimes. You know, sometimes they are like the main band for you, as opposed to the original bands, Brady.
Absolutely. Yeah, there are a lot of people on this list where well, maybe not on this list, but that I knew from the supergroup. And I was like, oh, they were in this band that I know a lot less before. So that's cool.
Mm-hmm. What's your next pick there, Brady?
Yeah, so my next pick is it's one of my favorite genres of supergroup, which is it's everybody but the singer from another band, and we have adopted another singer like a baby bird. So this is the instrumental lineup of No Doubt, except they have replaced Gwen Stefani with Davey Havok from AFI. This is Born to Lie by Dream Car.
I started staring at the floor, and there was nothing we could do, because my heart was missing too. Because my heart was missing too. Though I tried, it wasn't the first time I failed to find my heart. How I love to love you. How I love to be moved. But I grow too tired of lying, and your thoughts all sick of true. How I love to like you.
Yeah, and AFI is one of my favorite bands. Sing the Sorrow is one of my favorite albums ever. That's the one with Miseria Cantar on it. Shout out CM Punk. Maybe not. I don't know. But so replacing Gwen Stefani with Davey Havok from AFI, huge win for me. Huge win for your boy. I love this song. It's not in the style of AFI at all, but if they change the name of the band to AFI here, it would be one of my favorite AFI songs. I love the chorus on this, love the throwback vibes. It's awesome.
Yeah, I love this. This is right up my alley. This modern, new wavy kind of sound. I mean, with a name like Dream Car, it does conjure up those bright, positive vibes. And it is a pleasant surprise given who's in it. Like, I know a handful of AFI songs. They don't sound like this. You know,
Different
Misery
speed.
of Kantari
Yeah.
does not sound like this by any means. And I am a No Doubt fan, but even at their poppiest, they were more ska, dancehall, electro pop. So going in, I was like, what the hell is this band going to sound like? And I was shocked and delighted that it sounds really good. And I want to check out the whole album, Brady.
Yeah, strong recommend on the album. I was just about to say that, actually.
And as you said, you know, it's a certain type of supergroup where it's the members of a band with a lead singer of another band. Like Audioslave was Chris Cornell and Rage Against the Machine. There was also Hindu Love Gods, which was Warren Zevon and R.E.M. Alter Bridge, you know, Alter Bridge is Miles Kennedy and Creed. And I have my own example of this later on coming up. But my next pick, gonna go big here, as big as a whole continent, with Asia. Now, Asia has had some different lineups over the years, but this is the original four. John Wetton from King Crimson, UK, Wishbone Ash, Steve Howe from Yes, Jeff Downs from The Buggles, and also Yes, and Carl Palmer from Emerson, Lake and Palmer. This is from 2010's Omega. This is Finger on the Trigger.
The bullet bit, the tombstone's written. Now you're changing every line. Your aim is true, through cold steel blue, and you're waiting for the sign. Don't think twice, cold as ice, forced to face your fear. Each tortured minute, no future in it, and now I know it's all because of you. You got your finger on the trigger. You got your hand upon the gun. You know this thing is getting bigger. We had a good thing going on. You got your finger on the trigger. You got your hand upon the gun. You know this thing is getting bigger. We got a good thing going on.
So I've noted before on the show, I'm a big fan of Asia, and not just the original run in the 80s. I love the reunion run as well, with the original four coming back, and this is from the second of those albums. And, it's exactly what I want from Asia. Some meat and potatoes, album-oriented rock from a quartet of prog rock legends. The bullet bitten, my tombstone's written, now you're changing every line. Your aim is true through cold steel blue, and you're waiting for the sign. Don't think twice, cold as ice, forced to face your fear. Each tortured minute, no future in it, and now I know it's all because of you. You got your finger on the trigger, you got your hand upon the gun. Mwah! I love it, baby, I love it. I don't have a lot of the classic supergroups from back in the day on my list, but this is one of them. I had to put my boys in Asia on here, Brady.
Absolutely. Yeah, I knew Asia was an 80s band. And I, like I said, I was multitasking when I listened to this first time through, came back, put down notes, everything like that. I was shocked to see the release date on this thing. I was just talking about throwback vibes with Dream Car. This is the genuine article. This is a genuine 80s song that they transported and performed in 2010. You talked about the lineup. I was going to ask if this was the original lineup, but they've got a hell of a past member section on the Wikipedia page.
A lot of people have been in this band. A lot of people, and they're still going too. They actually have a new album coming out this year.
Wow.
But it's not the classic lineup.
No.
John Wetton died about 10 years ago, sadly. Steve Howe left in 2013 to focus on Yes. Carl Palmer left a few years ago. And now Jeff Downs is the only original member left in the band. And he's got 3 other guys with him. And they sound pretty good. They do sound good, but it's hard to still call it a supergroup at this point. And I should also mention there's another Asia featuring John Payne. John Payne is the guy who replaced John Wetton in the 90s as the lead singer there. We got Asias abound, Brady. It's nuts.
That's funny. There are a few kind of tropes that I like in music when you're promoting an album. One of them is in the emo scene, in the core scene is, this is our heaviest stuff yet. We're going back to the old stuff. And it almost never is. And my other favorite one is, we're going back to the original lineup. And it worked well here. I really like this. Definitely.
All right, Brady, what's your next pick?
So this is a this is a group that falls into the section I was talking about earlier, which is I only know these people from the supergroup, and now instead of saying it's this this band has this person in it, it's this person from this band. So this is Lie, Cheat, Steal by Run the Jewels.
Falcons of murder closing. I chose to go guano. Y'all know, kinda bad shit. The bright lights of fuckery stuck in me automatic. A teabag of piranha tank. Heart barely beating a wild one. Swim like directly after he's eating. We're holding a toaster oven that's plugged with a fork in it. Cause death by electrocution's like life in New York, in it. Should've been a dentist. Mom said it pains the way that my craft expresses. Born in a little shop of horrors that I can't even afford to rent it. Where's the exit? Wanna talk shop, I can chop it up with X-Acto touch. What's the rush? Autograph skin flash. Tag 'em on. I don't brag it up. You laid back, though, suck. I'm new to the up without the milieu. Kinda like, fuck is you? I'm a little back spot on the sound alive, and I'm not too high to say I'm the truth. I line the booth to catch blood like a pavement. Nathan sacred, I'll make some playpen. True runner, bitch, make the name stick. Not for sale, but I'm taking payment. Lie, cheat, steal, kill, win, win. Everybody doing it. Lie, cheat, steal, kill, win, win. Everybody doing it. Lie, cheat, steal, kill, win, win. Everybody doing it. Lie, cheat, steal, kill, win.
I neglected to mention who forms a supergroup earlier, so that's on me. But this is LP, not that one, and Killer Mike. I cannot listen to Run the Jewels without thinking about Aussie Open, who in their own right are kind of an inverse supergroup, where they're both excellent on their own right now. And you go back, you're like, you know what? These guys are pretty damn good as a team, and it's the inverse here. I love the changes in flow for both of them in this one. This is not their most wrestling crossover track, firstly, because it's not the Aussie Open song, and secondly, because it's not the song that says Jake the Snake 'em, DDT 'em in mausoleums, which might also be the Aussie Open song, but that's my favorite. That's my favorite Run the Jewels bar.
I was tempted to play Eddie Guerrero's theme as a gag, but I held off.
Absolutely.
It's funny, I'm in the same boat as you, because, my rap knowledge, not too deep. So I was surprised to see Run the Jewels on your list, because I've never thought of them as a supergroup, But, yeah, LP's been working since the early 90s, and Killer Mike has his own solo career, so I stand corrected. But regardless, whenever I listen to Run the Jewels, I enjoy it. They tend to have really good beats and some memorable lines. I'll teabag a piranha tank, heart barely beaten. I line the booth to catch blood like a Bateman. Nathan Sacred, I'll mace a playpen. And it's 2014 because it references the Donald Sterling controversy. So, I dug this one, Brady, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, let's see. My next pick here, this is another trio, and it's a trio called Oysterhead, consisting of Les Claypool from Primus, Trey Anastasio of Fish, and Stuart Copeland, Cope, the drummer for The Police. This is from their only album, The Grand Pecking Order, and it's called Pseudo Suicide.
Bitchin' here, bitchin' there, bitchin' damn near everywhere. There ain't no cure for suicide. There ain't no cure for suicide. Butter toast, greasy roast, y'all remember Danny most. He used to hit us coast to coast, cause there ain't no cure for suicide. Lean the drive beside my neck, daily I sing what the heck. Gotta pry myself up off the deck, cause there ain't no cure for suicide. I really can't remember when it didn't flow right from the pen. Would have known I'll carpenter again, cause there ain't no cure for suicide. But once upon a greasy day, I had an opportunity to play like my old stew and tray, cause there ain't no cure for suicide. There ain't no cure for suicide.
So these guys are like the weirdo cousins of them Crooked Vultures. It's the power trio that is maybe a little too obsessed with Smiling Friends, perhaps. And and they make some wacky music. This is not a tight 3-minute pop song. This is not Roxanne. This is some alt-funk zaniness right here. Just look at the lyrics. Buttered toast, greasy roast. You all remember Denny most. He used to hit us coast to coast, because there ain't no cure for suicide. 7 seconds after I dissolve into the fiery gates of hell, locked up in a plastic tube where Sanzio lay frozen when he fell. Pseudo suicide. Like, I don't listen to Fish, but I do know my Primus, and that is some Primus-ass lyrics right there. But I enjoy it. Obviously I love Les's bass playing, and Trey's guitar work is really good too. Copeland is a maestro on the drums, and I do like how 3 guys who on paper don't seem like they might gel actually do, Brady.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's funny you say that. I was listening to this for the first time, and I was like, this sounds like Primus. And I'm not sure, like, now that I'm thinking back on it, I don't know who else it could have possibly been to sound like Primus. You know, they're pretty distinct, but I definitely picked up on that. I'll mention this because I think you listened to this podcast, but Primus's lead singer in this song sounds a lot like the Michael Hayes impression on the Attitude Era podcast.
Why don't you go jump off that ladder? Pseudo-suicide.
Yeah. But like the instrumentation on this is incredible. Stuart Copeland here is my favorite Cope, and one of my favorite drummers of all time. So it's always great to hear his work.
Mm-hmm. And it's a classic supergroup origin story where it's meant to be a one-off live performance at a festival where Les had to come up with this band, and he got Trey involved, and they were both a big fan of Stuart Copeland, so they got him in it too, and that one performance turned into a whole album and tour. And they've toured a couple times, although not the best luck, because the first tour was interrupted by 9/11, the second one by COVID. So they haven't had the best luck going out on the road together, but they're still a hell of a trio, Brady. So
yeah, so what you're telling me is if Oysterhead announces another tour, take cover.
Yes. Find a shelter immediately.
Withdraw all my money, everything like that.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
All right, Brady, what you got next?
All right. Guess who? You guessed it. It's Craig Owens again from Chiodos. This is also with Matt Good from the band From First to Last, and Aaron Stern, who's a drummer from Matchbook Romance. This is If You Think the Song Is About You, It Probably Is by Destroy, Rebuild Until God Shows, or if you want to do the edgy acronym, Drugs.
You told me to stay put and reminded me why I was there. Cold-blooded and misguided, you thought that this would be your best. Then you tried to hide it, a chance to move ahead. Today was the day you tried to shut me down. Today was the day you tried to shut me down. Be honest, did you ever mention my name? Did you get sick of the shame? Did you learn your back? Be honest, did you ever mention my name? Did you get sick of the shame? Did you learn your back like a...
And this one is a first for band construction in this list. So not only were these guys in separate bands, but Craig Owens and Matt Good were both in Isles and Glaciers, who then fractured off to make this band. This is one thing I love is messy songs after a band breaks up, and we get that from the opening line of this song, which is, "Some friends you left me hanging in a room with a noose and a chair. You told me to stay put and reminded me why I was there." And the rumor, I'll say allegedly, is that Chiodos kicked Craig out of the band after he had recently made an attempt on his own life. So that is that's directed towards them. Lyrics aside, I love the structure of the song, the chaotic opening, the complete dropout other than the drummer just doing rudiments on the rims of the drums. And I love the guitar riff in this chorus. Every time I listen to this song, I have to rewind a chorus at least once every time.
Yeah, this isn't your average everyday emo. This is advanced emo.
This is turbo emo. Yeah.
We got suicidal references. We got screamo. We are rocking and rolling here, baby. I do like the "You're So Vain" reference in the title. You probably think this song is about you.
Yep.
Beyond that, though, it's fine, Brady. It's fine.
Yeah, it was my goal. After your adverse reaction to Attack last time it came on Music of the Met, it was my goal, nay, my duty, to see how many songs I could get you to not like and still maybe invite me back onto the show at a later date.
I like it much more than that Attack song. That's for sure. Much more.
Awesome.
Also, I want to bring up the music video for this because it is something.
It was a different time.
Yeah, it starts with Craig Owens being interrogated by police, but there's some spookiness going on, and then he's in this really dirty motel room with bugs and worms, and there's a naked woman that he's yelling at. Like, it's real grimy to look at, but, you know, when you name your band Drugs, then I guess I'm not too surprised, Brady.
Yeah, they were not the most subtle about their intent to be edgy, so not really that surprised.
All right, my next pick, this is another hard rock supergroup here. It's called Black Country Communion, and it's made up of Glenn Hughes, Joe Bonamassa, Derek Sherinian, and Jason Bonham, son of the late great John Bonham. This is off of their self-titled album. This is One Last Soul.
Now you burn like a freight train. You're a bird on a wire. See you driving me insane, and I couldn't get higher. You're the one last soul who can win it. You're the one last soul if you try. You're the one last soul if you live it. You're the one last soul, tell you why. And if you feel what you got to forgive it. One last soul make me cry. You're the one last soul who can win it. You're the one last soul if you try. And when you get what you want, don't regret it. The one last soul make me cry. You're the one last soul who can win it. You're the one last soul.
So, no big shocker that a band with all four of these guys in it sounds like this. Just a kick-ass rock band. Has the blues rock influence as well, with Glenn Hughes in there. And I've praised Glenn Hughes before on the show as a singer with his work in Deep Purple. And he's one of these guys that apparently just doesn't age, because he still sounds as good as he did back in the 70s. But all four of them have the chops. Joe Bonamassa, the guitar player, he was opening for B.B. King when he was like 12 years old. Derek Sherinian on keyboards. He's been in a bunch of bands. He was in Dream Theater for several years. And Lord knows that's no easy gig. He's got to be good to be in that band. And Jason Bonham is his father's son. You know, he's Bonzo Jr. pretty much. So yeah, there are 5 BCC albums, and they're all good. But I love the first 2 in particular. So if you want to start somewhere with this band, start there, Brady.
Absolutely. When was this released?
2010.
Wow. Yeah, Glenn still sounds great then. I really enjoyed this. I also have a soft spot for people abbreviating things, but only slightly. Like when he says South Carolina instead of South Carolina. The start of this song kind of reminded me of You've Got Another Thing Coming by Judas Priest, with the bass line and the tempo. But I love the chorus of this song. He really just belts it.
Yeah, he's amazing. And there's another band called California Breed that was around for a few years when BCC broke up. It was Glenn Hughes, Jason Bonham, and Andrew Watt, who is one of the big producers in the music scene right now. And they did one album, and then BCC got back together soon after that. So that's another band that could have gone with, theoretically. But yeah, if you want more Hughes and Bonham together, there you go, Brady.
Always good to have more.
Yeah. All right. What is your next pick there?
We're going to take things down a notch, tone-wise. This is Letter to an Old Poet by Phoebe Bridgers, Lucy Dacus, and Julian Baker, otherwise known as Boy Genius.
And I love you. I don't know why, I just do. But you're not special, you're evil. You don't get to tell me to calm down. You made me feel like an equal. I should have left you right there.
For me, this is kind of the modern supergroup. When you brought up the idea of the episode to me, my first idea was Boy Genius. The second one was one that I didn't pick, but you actually filtered into your list, so I was glad to see that. I probably, in hindsight, should have chosen one of the songs where all three of them sing, but this is my favorite on the album. It's got some really deep cutting lyrics for a breakup song. For example, you made me feel like an equal, but I'm better than you, and you should know that by now. It's a much different vibe than everything else I've put forward so far, but I really love it.
Yeah, I played Not Strong Enough a few months ago on the Mania Weekend episode with Case, and I probably could have picked this song for that one too, because there is some serious relationship drama going on here. You're not special, you're evil. You don't get to tell me to calm down. You made me feel like an equal, but I'm better than you, and you should know that by now. When you fell down the stairs, it looked like it hurt, and I wasn't sorry. I should have left you right there with your hostages, my heart, and my car keys. You don't know me. And the fact that it's done in this slow, soppy indie girl style is so jarring. But it's hard to misunderstand the meaning right there, Brady.
No ambiguity to it. I really like the subject matter in contrast with the style of the song. I like in particular when she pointed at the guy and said, "I'm not sorry that you broke your elbow." I thought that was really powerful. But yeah, there's Boy Genius.
Mm-hmm. And apparently it directly references another Boy Genius song called Me and My Dog, which came out a few years before this. And that's literally about Phoebe's dog, who died after the song came out. Now, I've never heard that song, so I didn't pick up on it. But if you go to the YouTube comments for this song, everyone is like, "Oh my God, the Me and My Dog reference ripped my guts out. I'm dead. I'm done for." So some people acknowledge it, at least. There you go. But all right, my next pick here. This is a wild collection of people here. We got Mick Jagger of the Rolling Stones. We got Damian Marley. We got Joss Stone. We got Indian musician and composer A.R. Rahman. And we got Dave Stewart from Eurythmics. This is a band called SuperHeavy. And I'm so happy I get to say this, because I love whenever this happens.
It's one of my favorite things.
Off the album SuperHeavy, this is SuperHeavy with the song SuperHeavy.
We heavy, super heavy. Yo, surprise weapons make a keep on her. That's why me enemies have to keep so far. Cause we heavy, super heavy.
You better watch your step and keep your distance. You gotta understand, before it gets too dangerous, it's 2 steps back and the dog won't bite. It don't ever stop, don't matter if it's day or night.
On the rise and fall like no star. The standard jam and we set the bar. Cause we heavy, super heavy. Yo, surprise weapons make a keep on her. That's why me enemies have to keep so far. Cause we heavy, super heavy. Yo, come through the war, we don't know about neither scar. Never sell out for no house night.
So I wouldn't call it heavy, but I would call it super, just based on the lineup. And it's a really fascinating mix of people and sounds. I mean, in this song, we've got the Mick Jagger swagger. We got Damian Marley bringing the reggae vibes. On the rise and fall like the storm, we stand on Jah, man, we set the bar. We got A.R. Rahman singing Hindu later. We got the Soul singing of Joss Stone. It's a true blending of different worlds, as opposed to, say, them Crooked Vultures or Black Country Communion, where they're all coming from the same rock and metal channels, basically. And the album got mixed reviews. Rolling Stone gave it 4 stars. AV Club gave it a D, which isn't a shock on either count, really. But I do like this song a lot, Brady.
Yeah, this was kind of a revelation for me. This is my favorite of the songs that you offered. I'd like to present 2 awards to SuperHeavy. Firstly, being the What Do These People Talk About award. And the second is, they kind of cheated, but it's the Bad Company by Bad Company award for being a song that shares a name with the band and also the album. But the energy in this is incredible. They do a good job working all the vocalists into it. Did you watch the YouTube video or a YouTube video for this, Andrew?
I didn't.
The YouTube video is it's pictures of all the members of the band, but it's cut together like with the rhythm of the music. So you get like Damian Marley, Mick Jagger, Just Stone, and then it'll just be like a quick little shot of A.R. Rahman in there, which it's just a funny juxtaposition because you have all these people that look like rock stars and then just a lovely looking Indian man who's sitting there in a suit. But I really enjoyed this.
Yeah, I tried to look it up. I don't think they ever toured. And I think their only live performance together was like an album preview event at Jim Henson Studios, and that was it. But I mean, they weren't around very long anyway. It was pretty much just this. But, look, I'm sure Mick Jagger and Dave Stewart and the rest of them, they're all doing okay regardless, Brady, that's for sure. So,
yeah, I think they'll be all right.
Yeah. All right, Brady, what's your next pick?
My next pick is another throwback entry, not the genuine article like Asia was earlier, but this is Leave Me Alone by I Don't Know How, But They Found Me.
Big shot, so what do you wanna pretend? You took some money, but the money couldn't buy a friend. Now I want you to leave me alone. They say the devil that you know is better than the devil that you don't. Oh, you're a big shot here, but nobody else knows. Now I want you to leave me alone.
This group is just a duo. They are their own set of mega powers, although not to the notoriety of Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage. This is Dallin Weeks, who was the bassist in Panic at the Disco for, I believe it was their for their fourth album. Not in there anymore. And Ryan Seaman, who was the drummer for Falling in Reverse. I really like the first couple albums from them, and much in the style of Panic at the Disco, they became a solo project, and they've tailed off in recent years. The synth and the vocals are really up front, and that's what's going to grab your attention, or a lot of your attention. My favorite part of the song is actually the guitar and the bass that are just under the front in the background.
Yeah, I like this a lot. Similar to Dream Car, it's a nice breath of fresh air from the emo stuff you've been playing, Brady, and the whole disco-y, funky sort of pop thing. I mean, when one of the guys is from Panic at the Disco, that kind of lines up name-wise,
For sure.
But I was also getting flashes of certain eras of The Killers or Franz Ferdinand, like that kind of sound, where there's like a retro Vegas show vibe. So, I dug this one a bunch, Brady, for sure.
Yeah, if you like this one, I'd say check out this album. Razzmatazz is the name of it, I believe, but it's a lot of the same.
Mm-hmm. And I've heard a few Panic at the Disco songs. I don't listen to Falling in Reverse though.
Good. You shouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, I only know of them because of Ronnie Radke, because he used to date Paige, and he has a whole list of troubles to his name, which we won't get into here. But, I don't plan on listening to that band anytime soon. But this band I like a lot, so there you go. But all right, my next pick, I've got my own all-female supergroup on my list. It's a band called Wild Flag, and it's made up of Carrie Brownstein and Janet Weiss from Sleater-Kinney, Mary Timoney from Helium, and Rebecca Cole from The Minders. And this is from their self-titled album. This is called Romance. There you go, a nice jaunty pop rock song called Romance, about romance. Back when I had no story, nothing to form me, you got under my skin, you were my maker, my recreator, the reason to live, etc., etc. It's kind of the only song of theirs I like, but there's only that one album, so there's not much to pick from regardless. But I'll be honest, similar to Broken Bells, I don't really know the other music that they've done outside of this. Like, I've never even heard of Helium or the Minders before. I do know Slater-Kinney, but I haven't really listened to them. To me, Carrie Brownstein is the Portlandia girl. That's where I know her from best. But in any event, I came across this song randomly one day, and I think it's really great. So I want to highlight it, Brady.
Yeah, I was not vibing with this song the first time I listened to it until the chorus hit. I love an extended, really wordy chorus, and they've maximized their minutes with the chorus. I like the guitar work. I like the little keyboard in the background's pretty cute, the little jingly keyboard, and the mini guitar solo to end the song I like quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. I was thinking too, comparatively, there's a lot fewer all-female supergroups than male ones. Like, there's Boy Genius, there's this, there's Trio, which was Dolly Parton, Linda Ronstadt, and Emmylou Harris.
They just missed my list. They were very close.
Final lineup there, yeah. And there's a handful more, but that's about it, really. There aren't as many all-women supergroups as there are all-men ones, Brady.
Yes, but let it be known that we are doing our part. That's two.
That's true, yes. We are allies, girls get it done, all the slogans, all the sayings there.
Women in STEM.
Yes, absolutely. All right, let's see here. Brady, what is your next supergroup?
Andrew, I'd like to take this time to formally apologize. You said that my last song was a nice breath of fresh air from all the emo stuff. When you invite me on my show or on the show, I can only go with what I know. So, fun origin story for this band. The first time their name appeared was on a festival poster. And not to get too inside baseball, but we have a game where somebody in the Voices of Wrestling Slack will post a festival lineup, and you will just count how many bands you know, and informally, whoever knows the most wins. I think it's a Scouts honor system. I think everybody's approaching it in good faith. But when this poster came up, nobody would have been able to identify it. It was later revealed to be Anthony Green from Circa Survive or Seosin, depending on which you prefer, Frankie Arrow from My Chemical Romance, Travis Stever from Coheed and Cambria, and the bassist and drummer from Thursday. This is Permanent Rebellion by LS Dunes. Yeah, this was their first single. So they teased the name on the festival lineup. They dropped this single. They dropped the lineup. Anthony Green is the other person I was referencing earlier, who is the side project or supergroup all-star. There's actually a band called The Sound of Animals Fighting that had Craig Owens and Anthony Green in it, but I didn't want to cross the streams, so we kept those separate. But I love the energy of this song. I think that a chorus where you can't possibly understand what they're saying without looking at the lyrics, I think it builds morale.
Yeah, this song was kind of like a jump scare because it starts and I'm thinking, okay, it'll be like a fast-paced, emo-y, pop-punky sort of thing. Mm-hmm. This Anthony Green fellow, I don't know who he is, but what a lovely, lovely singing voice. And then, bam, here comes the chorus, and it is just wailing screamo vocals. I was like, whoa, where did that come from? But I was still bobbing my head to this one, Brady. I still enjoyed it.
Let's go. Put one on the board.
Yeah, I gotta be honest, I liked it. But I was wondering, the name LS Dunes, where does that come from? Is it like an LSD reference? And I found a Reddit AMA with the band, and someone asked them where the name comes from, and the answer was, I'll never tell.
Hell yeah.
And I guess it's supposed to be like this big secret that's open to interpretation. So yeah, maybe they love the Dune books. I don't know. So
yeah, well, or they love LSD and Dune, and they saw that this was the opportunity to join the two. I'm going to go with your explanation. I think it has to be an LSD reference.
All right, something a little more pleasant to the ears with my next pick. If you ever need a letter delivered, you call up this band, the Postal Service. We got Ben Gibbard from Death Cab for Cutie, Jimmy Tamborello, a.k.a. Dintel, the DJ, and also Jenny Lewis from Rilo Kiley on background vocals, although not on this song. This is off of their soul album, Give Up. This is the big song here, Such Great Heights.
Have to speculate that God himself did make us into corresponding shapes like puzzle pieces from the clay. True, it may seem like a stretch, but it's thoughts like this that catch my troubled head when you're away, when I am missing you to death. You are out there on the road for several weeks of shows, and when you scan the radio, I hope this song will guide you home. They won't see us waving from such great heights. Come down now, they'll say, but everything is perfect from far away. Come down now, but they'll stay. I tried my best to leave this all on your machine, but the persistent beat, it sounded thin.
Oh, be still my beating heart. I've said before, I like some Death Cab for Cutie, but I'm way more of a Postal Service fan. Even though, again, there's just the one album and a handful of bonus tracks, but I love them, and I was trying to think of which song to pick here, and I just went with, their most well-known song, and it's hard to argue. I mean, it's just a really lovely song, all the beeps and boops and Ben Gibbard's sweet boy vocals and just the nice vibes of it all. It feels like we ourselves are at such great heights listening to it. So, as much as I would kill for another Postal Service album, when you do one as good as this, I don't blame them for living up to the name Give Up. Because where do you go from here, Brady? It's too good.
Absolutely. Yeah, this one's like a warm blanket. This is the other band I was referencing earlier. I said my mind went to them immediately when I was thinking supergroup, and I just left it off. But I'm glad that you picked it up here. I love this song. It is. I don't know. I feel like it's hard to say ahead of its time, but like I feel like it's very influential, like their style and all that. I did not know. I was on the old Google, and the music video for this straight up like got recreated for an Apple commercial, but they did not tell They did not tell the Postal Service before that they were doing it. It was like same director and everything. And to compensate for it, they put Such Great Heights on the front page of the iTunes store. Shout out to the iTunes store.
Yeah, I referenced this book, I think in the last episode. It's called Such Great Heights. It's about the indie music boom of the 2000s. And giving it that title really shows how, iconic this song is. And the Postal Service, they've done reunion tours and anniversary tours for the album and all that. In fact, I know a couple of years ago, there was a Postal Service Death Cab for Cutie tour together where Ben Gibbard pulled double duty and was performing all of Give Up and then all of Transatlanticism.
Wow, putting in a shift.
So yeah, he was a busy boy those nights. But there's also a live album called Everything Will Change, where the set list is every original song the band did, which is like 16 in total. So if you want to hear all the Postal Service songs done live, get that album because it's really good.
That's awesome.
So. All right, Brady, what is your second to last pick?
All right, so I've talked about strength of the lineups in all of my groups so far, but this is the supergroup to end all supergroups. When you take into account genre, impact, everything like that, I'm not sure you can top this. This is Johnny Cash, Waylon Jennings, Chris Christopherson, and Willie Nelson as the Highwaymen, and this is Silver Stallion.
We're gonna ride.
I'm gonna find me a reckless woman, razor blades and dice in her eyes, just a touch of sadness in her fingers, thunder and lightning in her thighs. And we're gonna ride, we're gonna ride like a one-eyed jack of diamonds with the devil close behind. We're gonna ride.
Yeah, I spent a little bit of time thinking if I could come up with a comp for like who this group would be in their genre and music now, or wrestling for that matter, and I struggled. It's a powerful group, kind of the kings of their genre all coming together for 3 albums. They had 3 albums over a 15-year period. I like that Johnny Cash gets all the choruses and he just gets to do hot tags to the other guys to do verses. Like the riff to start it is awesome. And you just heard it on the end of the chorus there in the clip.
Yeah, it's funny. If you looked at both of our lists so far and you had to guess which one of us would be the only one to pick a song pre-21st century, I would have bet everything on me. But no, it's you who brought the song here from the far-flung past of 1990. But yeah, this is great. Effortlessly cool is probably the best descriptor of the Highwaymen. Just 4 of the coolest dudes around. So cool that they're able to overcome the datedness of the production. Like, this has the studio smoothness of the late 80s. It's not a rough and tumble country sound by any means. But when Waylon Jennings goes, "I'm gonna find me a reckless woman, razor blades and dice in her eyes, just a touch of sadness in her fingers, thunder and lightning in her thighs." And in the video, he winks when he says that final line. I mean, come on. How can you not love it, Brady? How can you not? Come on.
Yeah, that rocks. When you were talking about it being dated, I thought you were talking about the video, which is them in the JCPenney photo studio with the television running in the background. And they're still cool. Like I'm not going to turn this into a complaint section about country music or modern country music anyway, but this is just, I don't want to, real country sounds Puritan, but you get what I mean. Like, this is actual outlaw country, 4 of the best all coming together.
Mm-hmm. And we still have one Highwayman left. Willie Nelson still going at 93.
He might live forever. Like at this point, I'm not sure he's ever going down.
It is wild because you look at all four of them, and you might think, oh, it's because Willie is the youngest of the four. That's why he's still alive. No, he's the second oldest.
Really?
Johnny was the oldest, then Willie, then Chris, then Waylon. And through the sheer power of marijuana and country music, he's still ticking, baby. You gotta love it.
The power of weed and good vibes. He's still with us.
God bless him. God bless him for it. All right, so my second to last pick here. This is my example of a band that adopts a new lead singer. We got Scott Weiland from Stone Temple Pilots teaming up with three former members of Guns N' Roses, Slash, Duff McKagan, and Matt Sorum, as well as Dave Kushner from the punk band Wasted Youth. This is Velvet Revolver off their first album Contraband. This is Slither. So first of all, that was one of B.J. Whitmer's ROH themes back in the day. Thought I'd point that out. But yeah, this is another one where I picked the biggest song. I won a Grammy, actually, for Best Hard Rock Performance. And it lives up to the name. I mean, Slither, it's real slithery and slinky. The guitar riff is very serpentine, you know. And Scott Weiland has that kind of snaky, you know, bad boy energy to him. Both in the song and in real life, unfortunately. And there's that chorus that just, you know, washes over you. Yeah, here comes the water. It's just a cool sounding song. And the whole album is full of bangers, too. It's a great album in total. So yeah, you know, despite Guns N' Roses and Stone Temple Pilots being, you know, kind of two different flavors of rock bands, I think all these guys really work well together, Brady.
Yeah, it absolutely works. Like this particular genre of rock, that being rock, pretty straight up. Usually not for me, but this song is it's pretty undeniable. It's burned into my brain, and I am not sure why. There was a time in my life when I think the song came out when I was like 8. But when I was watching the top 20 music videos on VH1 every week, and I think that's probably where it's from, probably a little bit of BJ Whitmer using it as a theme song, but it's so good. The chorus is huge, and the verses bring the energy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is, you know, one of those shooting star bands, because you got Grammys, this is a #1 album, Libertad, the second album went to #5, and that's all she wrote, folks, because Scott Weiland got fired because of his addiction issues, and they never replaced him. And eventually Scott died in 2015, and then Slash and Duff went back to GNR, which, you know, for a long time, that felt just impossible. I mean, the reunion tour was literally called Not in This Lifetime, but it happened somehow. So, yeah, Velvet Revolver, they were here for a good time, but not a long time. That's for sure. So... All right, Brady, what is your last pick of the episode?
Yeah, so this, like, I mean, I've already upset you slightly. This was the Put It in the Bank. I don't think Andrew's going to like this one song that I put down. This is made up of a couple of fairly prominent metalcore bands, and I love their origin story, but I'll tell it after the clip. This is Dan and Sailor of A Bullet for Pretty Boy, Ryan Lee True, and Brandon Lee True for Today, Alex Camarena of Silent Planet, and Devin Henderson of Take It Back. This is Choose Your Side by Nothing Left.
Because you won't become your rights. Cast out. Because you didn't fit the mold. Held down. But you will never break control. They fill up our heads with fear to try to manipulate. They tell us how we should feel. Time to break these chains. They are all the same. Chain duplications. No identity. Time to break these chains.
Yeah, so this band formed after For Today broke up, where Ryan and Brandon were from the band they were in. They then opened on the tour, on the For Today farewell tour, which is wonderful. That's a great way to hard launch your new band, to just open for yourself with your new band. This song kind of, you're going to have to go with me on the ride here. It's kind of got like a boy band One Direction thing where you make the lyrics as ambiguous as possible so anyone can like imagine that the song is about them. And they've got kind of the like here, some lyrics, you're cast out, but you refuse to fall in line, held down because you opened up your eyes, cast out because you didn't fit the mold. Could be anybody, right? Anybody who's angry at any system. That's you, right? It's pretty shrewd songwriting, but this is fairly standard, pretty by the numbers metalcore, but I love by the numbers metalcore. So,
you know that scene in The Simpsons where there's like a bachelor auction and Moe walks on stage and he's smiling and he's walking across the stage and the women in the audience are all like glaring at him with hatred and he keeps on walking and he walks off the stage into the rejects section. This song should keep on walking and then walk off the stage into the rejects section with the Attack Attack song. Because, I am not a big fan of this one. That's for sure. Well, here's the thing. Like, not only have I never heard of this supergroup before, I've never heard of the bands that the people come from.
That's what we're looking for.
You know, For Today, A Bullet for Pretty Boy, Silent Planet, Take It Back. In the words of Jerry Seinfeld, who are these people? And they didn't do much to make me want to check them out either. So, I am not on board with this one, Brady.
Fair enough. Yeah. That was my concern with a lot of my supergroups is that you wouldn't know the supergroups nor the the bands that are supposed to make it so super. But I'm glad mission accomplished. And we've added another to the Attack pile. It's possible this is my version of the hot dogging and grandstanding that tears us apart, but I was happy to be here.
Well, let me end things on a much gentler note. I started with a member of Led Zeppelin. I had the son of a Led Zeppelin member in the middle, and now I'm ending with another member of Led Zeppelin. It's a Zeppelin sandwich going on here. This is Robert Plant and his super duo with bluegrass country icon Alison Krauss. Now, they don't have an actual band name, but they do have multiple albums, and they've toured together as well, so I'm going to count it. Also, it's my show, and I can do what I want, so there. This is from their 2007 album Raising Sand. It's called Please Read the Letter.
Once I put beside a well of many words. My house is full of rings and charms and pretty birds. Please understand me, my walls came falling down. There's nothing here that's left for you. Check with lost and found. Please read the letter a letter that I wrote.
So the backstory of this song, this is actually a remake of a song that Plant did with Jimmy Page on their Walking into Clarksdale album. And that version's a little faster. It's a blues rock song. This one I like a lot more. I think slowing it down and turning it into this like folksy bluegrass song and the mix of, old man Plant's weathered but gentle voice with Krause's gorgeous country angel voice and the fiddle, it just works better, I think, to make it a really strong and heart-wrenching song. And Robert Plant, besides being the rock god, the voice of Zeppelin, he really loves Americana and folk music and all that stuff. So pairing him up with Alison Krauss and having T-Bone Burnett as the producer, that's just a natural fit right there, Brady.
Yeah, for sure. I really enjoyed this one. It's a change of pace from a lot of what I normally listen to. I don't know if you've been able to gather that from my selections. But it is, like, I agree, slowing it down was definitely the move here. It feels heavy. Like, Plant is kind of the star of the show, but Alison Krauss is there like a good bass in Lucha. She's there propping him up with the harmonies. I do like that even though it's a low-key song, you still get him going, oh, occasionally, just a few times, not too much.
You got me thinking of, like, Ultimo Krauss or Alison Serro or someone like that, But yeah, I mean, they do make a great combination, and this album did some real good business too. This was number 2 on the charts, and it swept all of its Grammy nominations, including Album of the Year. This song went Record of the Year, and you'd think, okay, time for another one, and they did do a follow-up called Raise the Roof. Again, Ultimo Guerrero there. But it came out in 2021, so it took a real long time for the follow-up, but it's like I said with them Crooked Vultures. These people are busy, Robert Plant has a solo career, Alison Krauss does too, so it takes time for these things to happen again, Brady.
Absolutely. And I think, it was a lovely song to end on. I think other than SuperHeavy, I think this is a song that I've gone back to listen to the most out of all of your suggestions.
Awesome, yeah, and I enjoyed your picks as well, for the most part. I'll stress that.
Happy to hear
But yeah, some great songs in this episode here, great bands. A lot of focus on relatively newer supergroups as well, 21st century onwards. There were plenty of classic bands still on the table. Cream, Bad Company, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young. Many more to get to in the future, perhaps. But yeah, that was the episode. Those were our picks. Brady, this was a lot of fun, man. Thanks so much for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Any plugs you want to give? Go right ahead.
I don't do much. I just I write the occasional indie review on the website. I'm working on a column on the internet's favorite wrestler, Jon Moxley, currently. We'll see if I ever finish that, but if I do, it'll be before All In. So keep an eye on the site. It'll go there.
Alrighty, Voices of Wrestling Podcast Network, all the great shows on there, voicesofwrestling.com, previews, reviews, articles, things like that. Blue Sky at Music of the Mat and at Just Andrew on Blue Sky. If you want to leave a comment about this episode, share your picks, voicesofwrestling.com/Discord. That's also where I post the Spotify playlist for each episode. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the show on Apple, Spotify, or your podcast player of choice, and leave a nice rating and review. Alright, so the playout song for today, this is another power trio, and they're called the Winery Dogs. And it's made up of Richie Kotzen from Poison and Mr. Big, Billy Sheehan, also from Mr. Big, and David Lee Roth's solo band, and Mike Portnoy from Dream Theater, and other bands as well. So this is off of their self-titled album. It's called Elevate. Thanks again, Brady.
Thank you.
No!
Music of the Mat is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. The songs used throughout this show are property of their respective copyright holders.
Hi, I'm Andrew Rich, and if you're like me, you look at the state of modern wrestling discourse and think, wow, what a cesspool. That's why I'm here to tell you about Music of the Mat Remix. That's right, your favorite wrestling music podcast is back with a new format, where I bring on a guest and we play songs related to wrestling-themed topics. It could be a wrestling reference, a wrestling concept, a wrestling pun, things of that nature. Now you might be saying, Andrew, that is a very, very tenuous connection to pro wrestling on a wrestling podcast network. Is this just an excuse to hang out with your friends and talk about music and ignore the rest of the wrestling landscape? Yes. Yes, it is. So listen to Music of the Mat Remix on the Voices of Wrestling Podcast Network, available on Apple, Spotify, or your podcast player of choice.
Most people don't realize how much their personal information is being bought and sold every day. Data brokers are making billions, pulling details about you from public records and the internet, and then packaging and selling it, usually without your consent. That's how your information lands in the hands of scammers, spammers, even stalkers. It's why you get endless robocalls and why ads seem to follow you everywhere. That's where Aura comes in. Aura actively removes your data from broker sites and keeps it off. They also instantly alert you if your information shows up in a breach or on the dark web. But Aura goes beyond data protection. With one app, you get a VPN, antivirus, password manager, spam call protection, dark web monitoring, and even up to $5 million in identity theft insurance, all backed by 24/7 US-based fraud support. Other companies might sell just credit monitoring or just a VPN. Aura gives you all of it, together, at the same price competitors charge for just one service. Start your free trial today at aura.com/remove. Protect yourself now at aura.com/remove.